So apparently, the WB, mostly David Zaslav, has axed several more animated projects at HBO Max. The silver lining, though, in these axings is they still probably more than likely will see the light of day. Those projects being the Batman Cape Crusader series done by J.J. Abrams and Bruce Timm, which is kind of a more mature take continuation of Batman the Animated Series. Merry Little Batman. The Steve Urkel animated special, Did I Do That to the Holidays? The Amazing Gumball movie. Bye Bye Bunny, a Looney Tunes musical, and the Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. Now it's kind of surprising that these got axed from HBO Max after being promoted, as being on such, I should say, back in San Diego Comic-Con. But again, this is David Zaslav and his crew we're talking about, who obviously want to go in a different direction, and basically we want to reorganize and filter out a better looking platform to work off of and integrate into when they merge both it and Discovery Plus into a new service. And I know a lot of people have come out and said that they see this and along with the other cuts and stuff that's going on, and a lot of people feel like what David Zaslav is doing is just abusing his power. He's just abusing his power by showing what he can do and when he wants to do it, who he could do it to, or what he could do it to, and not have a care. Even if his reasoning is, hey, I'm trying to save money, I'm trying to reorganize, I'm trying to reboot this company back into what it should have been a long time ago. I'm trying to basically clean up the mess left behind by Hamada and his crew. And some people could take that and and agree with his sentiments. When he would explain it that way. But others feel like what he's doing is just trying to showcase, hey, look, I got this power now. I can do whatever I want. Here's a taste of it. And it's like I've said before in a video, and I'll say it again. David Zaslav is gonna have a lot of OJT on his hands, on the job training. Because, he might be experienced when it comes to running Discovery Plus, and might be experienced and more in favor of, non-scripted reality shows, documentaries, and all that. But at the end of the day, you can't just rely on that as being your bread and butter. Whether or not you're running, a streaming service or a network that's based around it, or you're running a new streaming service and several networks that are kind of a blending combination of both. He is going to have to learn in the long run that some of his ideas are not going to go over very well. I mean, there are reports that the WBD has lost major stock already over this past weekend, and some may say that's all due to the fact that he's gutting the whole catalog, or at least it feels like he's gutting the whole catalog, just because he's saying it's for the best. It's to make a better service, a better network, a better company. And again, there are some that will agree with that, but there are some that don't. And again, some feel that what he's doing is showing his true colors, by basically screwing with people's careers, screwing with people's hard work and all that, and just, not giving it a chance to thrive. Now, the silver lining, like I said, about these shows and movies these specials and shows and movies being cut from HBO Max is they're still going to get an opportunity to shine. They're still going to get an opportunity to shine. More than likely, you're going to probably see a place like Netflix and Cartoon Network and the Boomerang service, be the ones that basically take these movies and shows, under the wing. Like Netflix, along with Cartoon Network, might be some of the only places where you could see this. And I'm sure David Zaslav won't have an issue with that because, hey, the focus is on trying to organize his company and his divisions to be more refined, more filtered out, more organized than before. And if it means licensing out or shopping around and licensing out the Batman animated series to the WB's, not WB, but the Cartoon Network, and even Netflix inevitably, then so be it. If it means, shopping around the Amazing Gumball movie to Netflix, as well as Boomerang streaming service along with Cartoon Network, then so be it. I mean, Netflix already has, I think, the Amazing World of Gumball, so the movie being on there wouldn't be a problem. And then you look at, let's say, Merry Little Batman, the Looney Tunes movies. Again, options are all there. Now you might say, well, what about Amazon? They could take some of these. And yes, they could. They could take some of these as Amazon originals. They could take, the Amazing World of Gumball movie and say it's an Amazon original in collaboration with Cartoon Network. They could say, they could take Merry Little Batman and Batman Cape Crusader and say, hey, these are Amazon originals in collaboration with DC. They could do all that. But only time will tell. More than likely, like I said, the landing spot for them will probably be Netflix. If it's not Amazon Prime, or Cartoon Network, well, it probably more than likely will be Cartoon Network, as well as the Boomerang streaming service. Then I almost guarantee that Netflix will be the likely home for these programs. And some of them may just go direct to video. Yeah. I mean, I just saw a trailer for Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo coming out around October, which is the latest in the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies. And the animation is based on the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who series. So, some of these, like the Looney Tunes films, may end up being, direct-to-video movies, for all we know. And you just have to see what happens. You'll see what happens if that's the case. They might be Blu-ray and DVD releases. That being the Looney Tunes, the day that blew up, and Bye Bye Bunny, Looney Tunes musical. That might be the direction they head. We don't know. But the silver lining, like I said, is these will still see the light of day. They just won't see it on HBO Max. The likely candidates is, from a network broadcast perspective, is Cartoon Network. And from a streaming perspective, more than likely, out of all the services outside of HBO Max, it would probably more than likely be Netflix that gets, the Batman series along with Cartoon Network. That gets Merry Little Batman along with Cartoon Network. That gets the Amazing World of Gumball movie along with Cartoon Network. As well as the Looney Tunes movies along with Cartoon Network. More than likely, they will end up there and then probably eventually on Boomerang. So, yeah, I know a lot of people don't like, what David is doing, and, that's understandable. I get it. But, it's just one of those situations to where you just gotta see what he brings to the table, eventually. Sometimes, these things happen, and we may not like it, but in the end, it might be for the better. I mean, a good example, and I know I used Archie Sonic a lot for an example, but a good example is Ian Flynn. It's like I said before when I talked about the CM Punk AEW deal, before Ian Flynn came on board, Ken Penders and writers like Penders, Bowlers, Gallagher, they were allowed to kind of run roughshod almost without anybody to rein them in. And, I think part of that is one of the reasons Penders was let go, because nobody was reining him in, I should say, and making sure he doesn't make stupid decisions or try to write in stupid, scenarios and stuff that, that he wouldn't get approved of either way and still try to get away with. And Ian Flynn and his crew were kind of like that a little bit, but they got reined in, not that long after. But here's the thing about Ian Flynn in comparison to David Zaslav. Ian Flynn, was reined in. He was doing OJT for a while, let's say Penders and others were writing, and even when he was head writer officially, he was still doing some OJT, but he was eventually reined in when he started to get a little overboard. But he did make his intentions clear, even during the final days of his OJT, even as head writer, in my opinion, and that was basically the fact that he wanted to purge the book of all the unnecessary characters that were not needed. That were only seen maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times, and that's it. They weren't needed, so why have them? And that's why he did what he did. That's why he went on that murder spree, if you will, in the book. He wanted to purge it so he could filter it out to make it more simplified, more organized, more refined, and easier to read and keep track of when it came to the characters appearing. He didn't leave it, as it was. What he did is he did exactly what Zaslav has been proclaimed to do. Zaslav, like I said, has been proclaimed to walk in, to have taken the reins, even during his on-the-job training. Easy for me to say. He's been known to after taking the reins, even during his OJT, to clean up what Hamada and his crew left behind. And that's kind of what Ian Flynn did. During his OJT, even as he started as head writer, after he was reined in a bit, he was still, living up to his goal and his promise to clean up the mess that Ken Penders, Cole Bowlers, Mike Gallagher, and others left behind. And in the end, what happened? Even before the retcon reboot, soft retcon reboot, whatever you call it, occurred, what happened? What occurred? What was the aftermath after he basically, finalized all that, after he kind of did his cleanup job? We got a more simplified, series that was even better than before. Not saying that the comic wasn't better previously, but we got a series that was better than before. Now, yes, did he make some decisions storyline-wise that not a lot of people liked? Of course he did. The Mecha Sally one, in my opinion, is a big example of that. But every other series, every other story that he and his crew did was great. And on par with what we had in the previous regime, if not better. And it was more simplified to keep track of, with the characters and all that. And it made things more intriguing. There's no doubt about that. There is no doubt. And David Zaslav, for comparison, is kind of doing a similar thing with Warner Brothers. He's making some decisions we may not agree with by axing completely a lot of programming and movies that don't need to be taken down, and not giving them a chance to see the light of day, or is axing them from release on HBO Max, but still giving them the opportunity to see the light of day. He's doing things very similar, to the point that in the end, we might end up getting a better product than we've ever thought. And I think that's a good thing. I really do. I think that's a good thing in the end. Now, should he have made his intentions known in the first place, even before San Diego Comic-Con? Absolutely. But this is all part of the OJT he's going through, the on-the-job training that he's going through. And I'm sure people have already related to him, related to him, but was relayed to him. Already relayed to him that he should have made these cancellation announcements before San Diego Comic-Con. He should have made it known. Or he should have at least, talked to the people before they went and said, hey, tell these folks that the stuff's still coming, but it's not going to be on HBO Max. It'll be somewhere else. And that's it. And again, it's all part of his OJT. Because he didn't do that, but now he's learning. Just like Ian Flynn learned and everything. And in the end result was something better than we thought we've had before. Or on par with what we had before, if not better. So that could be the same thing that happens here. But we'll see. However, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. What are your thoughts on David Zaslav axing, Batman, the Cape Crusader, Merry Little Batman, Amazing World of Gumball movie, the Looney Tunes movies of Bye Bye Bunny and The Day the Earth Blew Up and such. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on all that. And where do you think they will land? Do you think Netflix is going to take most of them? Do you think Amazon might come in? Boomerang? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Super chat, super stickers will be open and available during the live stream and during the live premiere of this video. Super thanks as well afterwards. And until next time, guys, that's all I'm going to say. Also, check me out at BW Rose's Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. As well as check me out at patreon.com, so BW Roses. As well as check me out at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and at BW Roses at BW Roses98 at Cash App. And until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Also, check out the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. But again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on all this. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later.